Hi everyone, we'll just begin in 2 minutes. Hey everyone, bonjour. Okay, any questions before we begin?
Bonjour madame, comment allez-vous?
Oui, super bien, merci.
Madame,
Alors, oui, allez,
j'ai quelques doutes sur mon dernier write-up.
ok,
Euh,
yes.
madame,
Alors,
premièrement, quelle est la différence entre tard et en retard?
ok. En retard, vous utilisez seulement avec le verbe être en retard.
Oui,
Par exemple, I am
je
late.
suis,
Je
je
suis en
suis,
retard.
oui,
In
d'accord.
other cases, you use tard. Like, I wake up late in the morning. Je me réveille tard le matin. Ok?
Avec le verbe être, on utilise toujours en retard.
Voilà, c'est une expression, être en retard, to be late.
Ah oui.
Mhm,
Et, et madame, deuxième,
mhm.
euh, nous pouvons ouvrir mon write-up. Like, I have
Oui,
to
oui,
tell you
oui,
the,
oui, oui,
yeah.
oui. Attends. Mhm. C'est ça. Yeah.
Ah oui, madame. Dans le second last paragraph, les vêtements dans le magasin
Il
étaient
a
très chers.
aimé. By aimer
Yeah,
with an S.
yeah, yes.
This concept we have not done as of now. Okay, I'll tell you what. If you have que as pronoun relative, we have not done pronoun relative as of now. So you accord, even in case of avoir. There are two cases which will come up where you accord even with case in even in case of avoir. So aimé, I have accorded as per vêtements. But this
Because
concept
I
we have
thought
not done.
yeah,
Sorry?
so it's not according to the sujet il, but it is
No, no, no,
accorded
no.
according to the
With
vêtements.
exactly.
Okay, d'accord.
What else?
Mm, Other than else, I understand, ma'am.
Okay.
And the beaucoup amusé. So I thought the beaucoup should be after the amusé, but it was used before.
No, no, no. Beaucoup is an adverbs, and adverbs are placed after the first conjugated verb.
So that's why it's after some, not after amusé. Okay.
Had it been, let's say, present tense, then you will say nous nous amusons beaucoup. Because there, amusons is the first verb.
Oui, madame. Comme je parle beaucoup,
Voila. But
euh,
if you want to say I worked a lot,
je travaille, j'ai travaillé.
j'ai beaucoup travaillé. Comprends? Mais je travaille beaucoup.
Oui.
C'est ça.
Merci, madame.
Abhijit, I have not corrected your write-up as of now. I corrected some 5, 6 write-ups. Yours was the next one. It's there in the. I'd started correcting. This is your write-up only, no? No, not this one, but yeah. And next was yours only in the line. But I have not corrected it. We'll do it maybe today evening. Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions before we begin? No? So,
Recording in progress.
l'interrogation. So today we are going to do all the ways in which a question can be formed. Now, this is a very, very important topic. Why? Because soon I would be explaining you your TEF speaking task 1, and that is based on questions only. You have to pose questions to the examiner, right? So let's begin with l'interrogation. Et alors, premier, c'est l'intonation. How do you pose a question? The first way is intonation. You have to raise your tone. Par exemple, si je dis vous parlez anglais. If I put a full stop, I'll say vous parlez anglais. It's a statement. Now, if you want to form a question out of it, you'll say, you'll raise your tone.
Vous parlez anglais?
Vous parlez anglais? Now, here the difference is not in terms of writing. Of course, there is full stop question mark, but while speaking. Vous parlez anglais. Vous parlez anglais? D'accord? Vous habitez à Delhi? Tu as un chien? Vous mangez des chocolats? Go ahead. Des exemples.
Tu travailles beaucoup?
Travaille beaucoup. Anyone else?
Tu aimes ce livre?
Tu aimes ce livre? C'est bon. Deuxième, vous pouvez poser les mêmes questions en utilisant est-ce que. Et c'est-à-dire is it that. Okay. Now this is the first way. You can pose the same question using est-ce que vous parlez anglais? Is it that you speak English? Est-ce que vous habitez à Delhi? Go ahead.
Est-ce que tu as acheté des légumes?
Est-ce que tu as acheté des légumes? Ok. Continuez.
Est-ce que tu es allé au parc hier?
Est-ce que tu es allé au
Au
parc?
parc hier?
Est-ce qu'il fait froid?
Est-ce que vous voulez boire quelque chose?
Est-ce que vous voulez
Boire,
boire?
drink
Est-ce que
quelque
vous
chose?
quelque chose? Ok, c'est bon. C'est bon. Est-ce que vous avez des questions? And if that begins with a var, then QUE changes into QU apostrophe.
Est-ce que vous avez choisi?
Est-ce que vous avez choisi? Très bien. Let's write it. Yes. Troisième. You can pose all these questions by l'inversion. Now that happens in English also. I will, okay, you will come in. Will you come in? So what have you done? You have actually inverted you and
Will.
Exactly. Subject and the verb. Vous parlez anglais. What is your subject here? Vous. The verb parler. Invert them.
Parlez-vous anglais?
And when you invert them, you put a dash. Parlez-vous anglais? Tu achètes des légumes. Allez.
Achètes-tu des légumes?
Achètes-tu des légumes? Il aime les chiens.
Aime-t-il les chiens?
So here there is a twist. After inversion, like M and il, if there is a clash of two vowels, in the sense the verb ends with a vowel and the subject begins with a vowel, you put T.
Aime-t-il?
This T doesn't mean anything, but this is only for the phonetics purpose. Aime-t-il? Aime-t-il les chiens? Ils ont...
Manges,
Oui.
manges-tu de chocolat?
Manges-tu?
Manges-tu?
Manges
Manges-tu?
des
Des-
chocolats? Oui, c'est bien. Ils ont des chiens.
Ont-ils,
Ont-ils?
ont-elles, ont-elles des cho-
Would I put T in between?
No.
No, madam.
Why? Because it is, yes, it is beginning with a
Oh,
vowel, but this is not ending with a. Both the things should be there. Okay, let's take any pronominal verb. Vous promenez aujourd'hui. Vous promenez, vous. Alors, vous
vous
promenez.
promenez-vous aujourd'hui?
And that's why you remember when we say, what is your name? We say, comment vous appelez-vous? Vous appelez-vous. So there we were doing the inversion, right? Il s'appelle John.
S'appelle-t-il John?
S'appelle-t-il John?
S'appelle-t-il John? C'est bon. Il y a des étudiants dans la classe. What is the inversion of Ilya? Like, what do you mean by Ilya?
There
There
are.
are.
There is and there are. If you want to invert it and you want to say is there or are there, how would you say that?
A-t-il, a-t-il,
You'll have to remember it. Ia, il. So, ia, il. Now there is a clash of two vowels. Ia, til. Alors, y a-t-il des étudiants dans la classe? The first one is there are some students in the class. The second one is are there some students in the class? Okay. C'est un stylo. Now, say is the combination of
So,
plus
E
a. Now, invert it.
S
A, se. Un stylo. Now, this would mean this is a pen. This would mean, is this a pen? Mac est intelligent. Now, make this by the first way. The first way would be Mac est intelligent. Deuxième,
est-ce que Marc est intelligent?
est-ce que Mac est intelligent? Troisième,
Est Marc intelligent?
this we cannot. Here we cannot say a Mac intelligent. Reason, you can do the inversion only in the case where you have a proper subject like pronossujet. Vous, tu, il. Here we have Mac. So Mac is which subject?
It's a noun.
Prominal.
Noun.
No, no, no. Which subject is it? Is it je? Is it tu, il, elle? Which subject is it?
Il.
Third person. It.
Il. Right? So how would you do? Mac, virgule. Est-il intelligent? So Mac, is he intelligent? Yes. Okay. Les fruits sont délicieux. Premier, les fruits sont délicieux. Deuxième,
Les fruits.
est-ce que
Est-ce que
les fruits sont délicieux? Troisième, I cannot say sont les fruits. So les fruits is with subject.
They,
ils,
them,
Can I replace les
they,
fruits by je or tu? What can I replace? If just les fruits would not have been there,
il
I,
or elle.
il, il,
not elle, because fruit is un fruit. C'est
Mm.
masculin. So how would you say? You'll say les fruits
ils sont,
Sont-ils
sont-ils?
déli-
sont-ils, sont-ils.
délicieux?
So the fruits, are they delicious? That's how you. Ok, on continue. Le fils de Monsieur Dupont est intelligent. Le fils de Monsieur Dupont est intelligent. Deuxième.
Est-ce que
Est-ce que
le fils
De Monsieur Dupont est intelligent. Troisième. Le fils de Monsieur Dupont
est-il
est-il intelligent?
intelligent?
Voilà. Les enfants sont bruyants. Les enfants sont bruyants.
Est-ce que les enfants sont bruyants?
Et troisième.
Les enfants
les enfants
sont-ils bruyants?
sont-ils,
C'est bon. Les musées sont ouverts le dimanche. Les musées sont ouverts le dimanche. Deuxième.
est-ce que les
les
musées,
humains,
Les musées sont ouverts le dimanche. Troisième.
les humains,
les,
Les musées
les musées sont-ils
sont-ils ouverts le dimanche? Okay. Now let's do the negative one. Till now we were doing the positive sentences. Tu n'as pas faim. Tu n'as pas faim. Deuxième.
Est-ce que
Est-ce que
tu
tu
n'as
n'as
pas
pas
faim?
faim? Now observe. Imagine that there is no ne pas. How would you do? How would you have done then? Inversion.
As-tu faim?
As-tu faim? Now, since it was negative, make it positive first, then put ne in the beginning, always. Ne in the beginning and pas after the subject. Subject is tu. N'as-tu pas faim? Okay. Tu ne viens pas à l'école en voiture. Tu ne viens pas à l'école en voiture? Deuxième. Est-ce que tu ne viens pas à l'école en voiture? Troisième. Make it positive first. So,
Viens-tu
Viens-tu à l'école
en
en
voiture.
n'aviez-vous,
Ne.
n'aviez-vous,
Ne viens-tu
viens-tu pas?
pas?
How would you do now?
Marc,
Et
Marc
Marc
est-il
est intelligent.
intelligent?
est
n'est-ce pas? It's something that we put at the end, isn't it? N'est-ce pas? Vous parlez l'école est ouverte, n'est-ce pas? Il fait beau aujourd'hui, n'est-ce pas? Tu aimes les fruits, n'est-ce pas?
N'est-ce pas?
Tu as un chien, n'est-ce pas? Voilà. Now, that means there are 4 ways in which you can pose a question. Après, comment répondre? How do you reply to these questions? So now in English, okay. So if I pose you any question, let's say, The fruits are delicious, isn't it? So either you would say yes or you would say
No.
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 But in English, this topic, in French, this topic we have already done. On a trois
C.
manières. Oui, non et
Si.
si.
C.
No, that depends. Question, réponse. Si votre question est positive et la réponse est aussi positive, vous utilisez oui. Si votre question est positive mais la réponse est négative, vous utilisez non.
Non.
Si votre question est négative et votre réponse est aussi négative, vous utilisez non. Si votre question est négative mais la réponse est positive, vous utilisez si. Par exemple, si je vous pose la question, aime-t-il les chiens? Aime-t-il les chiens? La question est positive ou négative?
Positive.
Positive.
Alors, la réponse, votre question est positive et la réponse est aussi positive. Oui,
Il aime
Them.
il
Clem.
les chiens.
Les chiens.
aime. Mais s'il n'aime pas les chiens, vous allez dire non.
No.
Il n'aime pas les
Il
chiens.
n'est
Positive
pas.
question, negative reply. Il
Il n'est
n'aime
pas
pas,
les chiens.
n'aime pas les chiens. Mais par exemple, si je vous pose la question, n'aime-t-il pas les chiens? N'aime-t-il pas les chiens? Now here the question is
Name.
negative. So now, if I pose you this question, doesn't he like dogs? Question is negative, but you want to say he likes the dogs. You'll say si.
Si.
Il aime
Il
les
aime.
chiens. Mais s'il n'aime pas les chiens, vous allez dire non,
Il
il
n'aime
n'aime
pas.
pas les chiens. Any doubt still here? Vous avez des questions? Est-ce que vous avez des questions? Avez-vous des
No.
questions? So I said this question by the three ways. Now let's do the next one. Les mots interrogatifs. The interrogative words. Now, what are interrogative words? Interrogative words are all the WH family. What we call in English as WH family. Who, where, why, how, when. Right? Now, on commence avec où. Où,
Where.
Where.
when. Sorry, where. Quand.
When.
When.
Pourquoi.
Why.
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 À quelle heure.
At what time.
What. Which. No, sorry.
Time.
What time.
Comment.
How.
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 Combien de.
How
How
many.
Many.
Combien.
How much.
How much.
Qui.
Whom.
Who.
Que. O. Q apostrophe. And then we did this. Quel. Quel.
What.
Today I'm
Which.
going to explain you the difference between que and quel also. So wait for that. This also means what.
What.
Which.
Exactly. Right. Now, first of all, what, see, till now also we were forming these were also the questions. We parlez anglais. But in these questions, we had not used any of the interrogative word. But still, this was a question. So what is the difference between the questions which are formed without the question words and the questions which are formed with the question words? What is the difference?
These are
Okay.
open-ended.
Yes, so these questions are known as open-ended questions, les questions ouvertes. And these questions are known as closed-ended questions, les questions fermées. La différence. If I ask you this question, vous habitez à Delhi? Pose any of these questions till now, whatever questions we have done. Any
Où
question.
habitez Delhi?
So, like for example, if I ask you, tu travailles beaucoup? You work a lot? The answer will come either yes or no. So the answer of closed-ended questions, that means the answer of the questions which do not have the question words like where, how, why, when. The answer to those questions would be always be either yes or no. N'est-ce pas?
Oui, madame.
Any question? You went to the park yesterday? Yes or no. But the moment you put any question word, where are you going? Can you say, yes, I'm going to the school? Where
No.
are you going? You will say, I'm going to the school, but you won't say, yes, I'm going to the school. Right? So, in the above ones, you were forming the questions. Those were known as les questions fermées. Ce sont des questions ouvertes. Si je vous dis, je vais à l'école. Je vais à l'école. I go to the school. Now, I told you I go to the school. So what would your question have been? To
Where
which
do
I
you
said,
go?
sorry,
Where are you
Where do
going?
you go?
where are you going? So for where, où.
To
mm,
Je will change into tu, or
you.
it can be vous
You.
also. Où tu
va,
vas.
Ah,
Wow.
This is by the first way, intonation. Here also all the forms can exist. The second would be putting SQ. Now till now I told you SQ we put in the beginning, right?
Yes.
Actually, the correct explanation is SQ you put before the subject. Yes, that was another thing that here your sentence was beginning with the subject only. Vous, tu, il, vous. Right? So here the subject is in between. So you'll say
est-ce
est-ce
que
que
tu
tu
vas?
vas?
où est-ce que tu vas? Where is it that you go? Où est-ce que tu vas? Deuxième, où
Vas-tu?
vas-tu? Invert the subject and the verb. Now, here you had the fourth way as NESPA. Can you apply NESPA in the open-ended questions? Can I say, where are you going? Isn't it?
No.
No.
No. So in the open-ended questions, that means wherever you have a question word, you cannot put NESPA over there. But there is a fourth way of saying here, you can put this question word at the end. So you can also say, tu vas où? But here I'm not writing the fourth like this because otherwise you'll get confused. Here the fourth is written like this. Here the fourth is written like this. So I'll not name it and I'll not write anything. So this is the fourth way where you can put the question word at the end. Okay. Si je vous réponds en disant il nage très bien. Now I want to avoid writing très bien. He swims very well. So what would your question would have been?
Comment?
Comment? How he swims. Alors, comment?
Il nage.
Premier, comment il
It's 5
nage?
hours.
Deuxième,
Comment est-ce que tu
Est-ce que
nages?
comment est-ce qu'il nage? Et troisième, comment?
comment
Nage-t-il?
nage,
Comment nage-t-il? Et quatrième, il nage?
nage-t-il comment?
No, no,
Il
no, no.
nage comment?
See, when you say nage-t-il comment, that means you have done the inversion also and you've applied you cannot apply two interrogations side by side. It can be il nage comment, right? Okay. Sophie va chez. Okay, I'm writing few answers. You make the questions out of them using all the forms. Parce qu'elle a mal au dos. J'ai 3 chiens. Go ahead. First do these two. 2-3 minutes.
make questions like first example for share, second sentence.
Ok, allez, on commence.
First one, combien de chats?
Non, 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 non. Premier, c'est Sophie va chez le médecin parce qu'elle a mal au dos. Alors,
Pourquoi Sophie va-t-elle chez le médecin?
yes, so Abhijit, you have written pourquoi tu vas chez le médecin? When your question is why you are going to the doctor, then the answer would have been I am going to the doctor because here it's about Sophie. Alors, pourquoi?
Sophie va chez le médecin.
Voilà. Pourquoi Sophie va chez le médecin? C'est premier. Deuxième,
Pourquoi est-ce que Sophie va chez le médecin?
troisième.
Pourquoi
वह
va
वह
Sophie chez le médecin?
शेजलमस
No, no, no. What did you say? Pourquoi?
Va Sophie?
Here you have Sophie, no? So pourquoi Sophie
Ah oui, oui,
va-t-elle? Which we were doing over here.
oui, madame.
You understood? And fourth one would be Sophie. Generally, we don't
Va
put pourquoi at the end, but still
Sophie va
okay.
chez le médecin.
Grammatically.
Pourquoi?
Voilà. Okay, j'ai trois chiens.
Combien de chiens tu as?
So how many dogs you have? So combien de
Deux
chiens
chiens tu
you
as.
have?
Combien
Combien
de
de
chiens
chiens
est-ce que tu as?
est-ce que tu as? Anybody, if you feel that I'm doing fast and you're not able to grasp it, please let me know. Combien de chiens?
Suchita, the will always come
Okay.
with combien?
The will?
Always come with combien?
I'll clarify your doubt. Combien de chiens?
As-tu as combien de chiens?
Tu as combien de chiens? Right. Now coming to your question, will the always come with combien? Now that question has already been clarified when we were doing les adverbes de quantité. This topic came. And I told you what is the difference between beaucoup de and beaucoup. Combien de and combien. So whenever you are, all these are being used for the noun. Like I have a lot of books. You're using a lot of for
Books.
Books. How many dogs do you have? So how many is being used for?
Dog.
Dogs.
Dog.
So there you use combien de, beaucoup de, trop de. But when I say it costs how much? How much is being used for? Costs. It costs how much? I'm using how much for costs, which is a verb. So therefore, so basically when you're using, there are two explanations to it. When you are using it for the noun, you will say beaucoup de, trop de. When you're using it for the verb, you'll use only beaucoup or trop or combien. Another explanation is after beaucoup or combien or anything, if you have the, then there should be a noun to support. The moment, let's say you said ça coûte combien de, then you should have something after that, right? That's the explanation. Okay. If I say je pèse 50 kilos, I weigh 50 kilos. Now, what would be your question in English? In English, I weigh 50 kilos.
How much you weigh?
Okay, so how much? For how much, I can say combien also. Combien de also. How much you weigh? Tu
Pounds.
pèses.
Pèse.
After combien, should I put the or not?
No.
No, because when we are saying you weigh how much is being used for weigh, which is a verb. Combien tu pèses? Second one would be combien
So you pèse.
tu pèses. Troisième, combien
Pèse tu.
pèses-tu? Et quatrième, tu pèses
Tu pèses combien?
combien? Ça coûte combien? Tu pèses combien? But let's change this question a bit. And I don't want to say how much do you weigh, but rather I want to say how many kilos do you weigh? How many? Now how many I'm using for?
Kilos.
Which is a noun. So combien?
The kilos.
Yeah.
Combien de kilos?
Tu pèses.
C'est premier. Deuxième,
Combien d'asque?
combien de kilos
Est-ce que tu pèses?
est-ce que tu pèses? Troisième, combien de kilos pèses-tu? Quatrième,
Tu pèses combien de kilos?
voilà. Tu pèses combien de kilos?
Ma'am, combien de can be placed at the last as in like pourquoi or comment?
But combien can be placed, but
Not combien de?
no, but if you're putting combien de, there should be something after that. No, you cannot just leave combien de.
Okay.
You put
Noun.
the only when there is a noun after that.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Next question. La différence entre que or que apostrophe et quel, quel, quel. Now, the meaning of all of them, que or quel, is what or which, right?
Who?
No. Qui means who. Que means what. The meaning of both of them is what or which. But now, what is the difference? Some of it I've already explained you. Let's go back to les adjectifs interrogatifs, where we did quel. Now, if you remember, I taught you this topic and I told you after interrogative adjective, quel, you can have what? You can either have a noun. Noun is what? Noun is anything before which you can put le, la, les. La ville, la chanson, l'âge, les robes, les livres, les sports, right? So either after quel you can have a noun, or you can have a, or you can have son. There is no fourth possibility. Let's go back to this now. If I write, je suis indienne, let's say my answer is I'm Indian. What would your question have been in English?
What is your
What is your
nationality?
nationality?
Let's leave the space for what? Because ko
Quel?
is also what? Quel is also what? Let's write is your nationality.
Quelle est nation-
Et votre
Et votre
nationalité?
nationality. Now, what do you think? Should I put ka or quel?
Quel?
Quel. Because I told you after quel, you can either have a noun or a or son. Now what we have over
Oh,
here is A. Now you will look at what for putting this. Nationality. Féminin. Une nationalité. Quelle est votre nationalité? Again, je parle anglais, hindi et français. If I have said you this, what would your question have been in English?
what languages do you speak?
So let's leave the space for what? Languages. Langue. Tu
You
parles.
parle.
Now what do you think? Should I put que or quel?
Quel?
Why? Again, because languages is a noun. Les langues. Now, which is feminine and which is plural, so you'll say quelle langue tu parles. Now you have all the ways of saying. This is the first way. Second way is quelle langue est-ce que tu parles? Troisième,
Quelle langue parles-tu?
parles-tu? Et quatrième,
Parlez
Tu parles quelle langue?
repeat,
Tu parles quelle langue?
tu parles. Vasudha, I think you said parles-tu quelle langue? You said? And just now somebody said parles-tu quelle langue? You cannot put inversion also, and two interrogations cannot be done side by side. Okay, but now let's say here when I said I speak English, Hindi, and French, you said which languages do you speak? It's perfectly all right. But let's say if your question would have been, what do you speak? Question could have been this also, what do you speak? And I said, I speak English, Hindi, and French. So what do you speak? What? Let's leave the space for what? You speak.
Tu parles.
Tu parles. Now, tu, is it? Of course, that's not a and so. That's not a and so. And that's not even a noun. So here you'll put
que,
que tu parles.
Que
This is the first
pronoun.
form. Second form,
que, est-ce que,
que est-ce que.
que est-ce que tu parles?
Now, together, because que changes into
Yeah.
Q, you step if there is a vowel after that.
Yes,
Now,
yes,
that is
yes.
qu'est-ce que.
Qu'est-ce que?
Qu'est-ce que. You must have started this, no? Qu'est-ce que. So what exactly is qu'est-ce que? Qu'est-ce que is the combination of que plus est-ce que. Right?
C'est bon.
Now, the third would be que parle.
Parles-tu?
Right?
Tu
Now the
parles
fourth.
que?
Tu parles que no. When que comes after the verb, when you do the fourth negation, fourth interrogation, que changes into.
Quoi?
So what
Tu
is the
parles
difference
quoi?
between que and kua? There is no difference between que and kua. The only thing is the sentence structure. When you're putting it in the beginning, it's que. When you're putting it after, you will say tu parles.
Quoi?
It's just a sentence structure. Right? Okay. Mac boit du jus d'orange. Mac drinks some orange juice. So your question would be what in English?
What does
What does
Mark
Mark
drink?
drink?
So let's leave the space for what? What Mark drinks.
Mark boit.
Should I put que or quel?
Que.
Que.
Oh,
Because is the subject. Que Marc
où
boit.
est-ce que
C'est le premier. Deuxième,
Qu'est-ce
où
que
est-ce que Marc
Mark
boit?
boit?
qu'est-ce que Marc boit? Whenever the question has to be formed by que, my ways I always use qu'est-ce que because I'm really comfortable with saying qu'est-ce que. Okay. Okay, third would be que
Boit Mark.
Marc boit-il?
Oui.
Et quatrième,
Mark boit. Quoi?
que will change into que. Okay. If you want to ask somebody what is your profession, or you want to say what do you do in life? What you do in life? You do in life. Tu
C'est
Elle est votre
either say
dans
quelle
la
est
vie.
votre profession. If you want to say by this way, dans la vie. Que or quel? Que tu fais dans la vie? Deuxième.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais dans la vie?
Tu fais dans la vie? Troisième. Que
Es-tu?
que fais-tu dans la vie? Et ici,
Tu fais dans la vie quoi?
reframe it. Tu fais dans la vie quoi? Doesn't suit.
Dans
Tu
la
fais,
vie, tu fais
tu
quoi
fais
dans la
quoi?
vie?
Tu fais quoi dans la vie? After the verb. Okay?
पहले votre profession.
That is another thing. Quelle est votre profession? Here I just wanted to show you the usage of que.
Okay.
That's also okay. Okay. Le mécanicien répare des voitures en panne. I want to remove le mécanicien. Who repairs?
Qui?
The
Yes,
mechanic repairs the broken down cars. So if I want to remove the mechanic, I'll say who repairs? Who is?
He.
Qui?
qui.
Qui répare des voitures en panne? Say this by the second way.
Yes, que.
But I told you, est-ce que you put before the
Noun.
subject.
Subject.
But
Subject.
here the subject was le mécanicien, which got removed.
Oui.
So can you write it by the second way?
No.
Third way. Can you write it by the third way? Where you
No,
invert the
no.
subject and because the subject
No
got
subject. There is no subject.
in this case, you just have one way of writing.
Hmm.
Right? Okay, next. Il y a 30 étudiants dans la classe. I want to remove 30. Go ahead.
Combien d'étudiantes dans la classe?
Okay. Combien d'étudiants
Étudiantes.
dans la classe? You've done a classic mistake in this. Let's convert it into English, we'll understand. Combien de? How many? Étudiants? Students
Students.
dans la classe?
Are in
In
the
the
class.
How many students in the class? What is missing?
Are
Are there? How many students are there? So there are is Ilya. Are there is?
Oh,
y a-t-il?
Y a-t-il, which we did. Inverted.
Sont.
See,
Oui.
so is not required because are there is y a-t-il. There are is Ilya. Right?
Oui,
Now,
madame.
another thing is, see, either you could have said how many students are there in the class, which is perfectly all right, which we have done. But you could also have said there are how many students in the class. Il y a combien d'étudiants dans la?
Dans la classe.
Depends upon you. In what way do you want to write it? Okay, le nom de ce restaurant est Les Papis. What would be your question?
What is the name of the this restaurant?
In French.
Quel est le nom?
Quel est, exactement.
quel nom? Quel est nom?
Quel est le nom de ce restaurant? Elle porte une robe à la soirée.
Quel hoop?
I want to remove your robe. She wears a dress in the party. What would be your question?
What did she wear in the
What
party?
she wears in the party. So what? Let's leave the space for she wears.
Elle porte dans la à la
À-
soirée.
So que or quel?
Que.
Que. Now, of course, que changes into QU apostrophe if there is a verb. Que elle porte à la soirée. Which doesn't suit that much, and that is why with que I always prefer using the second form, which is
Qu'est-ce que?
Qu'est-ce que? Qu'est-ce qu'elle
Qu'est-ce qu'elle porte à la soirée? Troisième, que que porte-t-elle à la soirée? Et quatrième, elle porte
quelle qui
no. Qui? She wears.
que
No, but que when comes after the verb changes into
quoi
elle porte quoi à la
वाह
soirée? C'est bien. Le professeur enseigne aux étudiants. Le professeur.
what
who teaches
Who? So,
kios
qui?
enseigne
sही है oh
Les étudiants. C'est bien. The next concept and the last concept coming up is preposition plus the interrogative word. Si je vous dis, j'habite
Uganda
depuis 1991. I'm living in India since 1991. So what would be your question?
combien de temps tu habites en Inde?
In English.
How long you
I
been
live
living
in
in India?
India.
where do
I
you live
living. No, if I'm saying where do you live, the question would be I live in India. I'm saying I live in India since 1991. So what would be your question in English?
How long you been living in
How
India?
long have you been living in India?
um
Since when?
How long?
Since when? Exactly. Because your preposition will remain same. Since when you are living in India. So since
on
is preposition, which is depuis.
Depuis combien?
And after that, there is an interrogative word, which is quand.
on
Depuis tu habites en Inde. Second, you will have all the forms. Depuis quand est-ce que tu habites? Troisième, depuis quand
habitu
habites-tu en Inde? Tu habites en Inde?
depuis quand
Depuis quand?
So this is the concept which I'm trying to explain you. Whatever is the preposition, that will remain static. And after that, you will have a interrogative word. Another. Je vais au marché avec ma mère. I go to the market with my mother. Now, if I want to remove with my mother, what would be your question? In English,
With whom?
with whom you go to the market. Now, whom comes out of who only?
Qui?
Qui. So what would be your question?
Avec qui tu vas au marché?
Tu vas.
Tu vas au marché.
Now you see, avec is the preposition, qui is the interrogative word. Avec qui?
Est-ce que tu vas au marché?
Tu vas au marché. Troisième,
Avec qui vas-tu?
quatrième,
Tu vas au marché avec qui?
au marché. Another. Je viens de Paris. I come from Paris. Your question would be in English.
from where you come
So from is the. Where is
Où
où you come. Tu viens. Now you see, the plus où. D'où.
d'où
D'où tu viens.
d'où je viens d'où je viens d'où
No. Second would be
d'où est-ce
d'où est-ce que tu viens. Troisième,
D'où viens-tu?
d'où viens-tu
d'où vient. Quatrième, tu viens.
d'où,
Tu viens d'où? C'est bon. Next. J'écris avec un stylo. I write with a pen. So your question would be
avec
What
quel,
are you right?
in English.
With what?
With what do you write?
with what,
Now what is, okay, let's leave the space for what. With what you write. Tu écris. Now, would you use quel or que?
oh,
Que, because you have a subject after that, right? Now,
mm,
there was a rule
Oh.
that I told you over here that que changes into qua when it comes after the verb, right? In the
yes,
fourth case. This is another case after the preposition also. If you have que, that changes into.
Quoi?
We don't say avec que, we say avec quoi tu écris. Avec quoi
Est-ce que tu écris?
tu écris. Avec quoi
Écris-tu?
et tu écris.
Tu
Avec quoi?
écris avec quoi?
Okay, now I'll pose you the last one, which is if my question would have been this, answer would have been this. J'écris avec un stylo bleu. I write with a blue pen. Then your question would have been what in English?
With which color pen?
With which pen? With which pen do you write? Now, with which
Avec.
pen you write? Tu écris. Would I put que or quel?
Quel.
What?
Quel.
Would I put que or quel?
Quel.
Quel. Why? Because now you have stylo, which is a noun.
Noun.
no,
Avec quel stylo tu écris? Avec quel stylo
Est-ce que
tu écris? Avec quel stylo
écris-tu?
écris-tu? Et tu écris?
Avec quel stylo?
Avec quel stylo? If you have any doubts, any questions, you can ask me. No, because this topic is done. Now, in your book 450 exercises, you have some very, very beautiful questions of interrogation. After today, you have time because we'll meet on Thursday.
Questions as interrogative questions, open-ended
Sorry?
and close-ended as well. I think my video is pausing. Maybe there might be an internet issue.
Okay, anyways, so here is the topic. 64.
Okay, if you can hear me now.
Dhruv, go ahead.
Yes, sorry. So both open-ended and close-ended questions are considered as interrogative question, right?
Yeah. Question is a question only.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand what questions are categorized as interrogative questions. What type of questions are considered as interrogative questions?
There is no difference between questions and interrogative questions.
Okay.
All the questions are interrogative questions. Okay. Right questions. First intonation, then they're introducing you to est-ce que, then inversion, êtes-vous, then moving on to the next one. Again, inversion, inversion. Here they are teaching you this one. Marie, vient-elle dîner ce soir? Then the second part is interrogative words where they'll first the question is only based on que. Then est-ce que, qu'est-ce que? What is the difference between est-ce que and qu'est-ce que? Est-ce que means is it that? Qu'est-ce que means
What is it that?
what is it that? Right? So I would request you to do all these questions. The difference between que and kua, which I explained you. The difference between ki and ke. Ki means who, ke means what. Right? So do all these questions. You'll be absolutely be able to do all of them. Right? Any doubt still here? Now, moving up on the next. Now, with today's class, I have completed everything for A1. I would say even for some topics, I have even done what we do in A2, but at least whatever we teach in A1, I have done everything, right? So now I'm going to explain you the format of DELF A1 using the book. So if anybody of you, which I would recommend to appear for DELF A1, there are certain books. I'm going to send you the PDF of these books along with the listening files. Here it is. DELF A1, then this is for DELF A2, DELF B1, DELF B2. Okay. All of them are not required, but the problem with TEF is that TEF is one single examination for all the levels, A1, A2, B1, B2, right? C1, C2. So before you appear for TEF, if you don't want to appear for 2 examinations, maybe 1 examination, any DELF, because today if you feel that, you are at A1 level, you can go and register yourself for DELF A1. But with TEF, you cannot do TEF A1. There is nothing called TEF A1, right? So now talking about DELF A1 here, I'll send you this book. Just like the way in TEF you have 4 sections, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. In DELF also you have different 4 sections, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. But the difference is in the type of questions. Where is the book? Voilà, réussir le DELF. Ah. With pencils. Okay, I don't know. I don't remember actually. I don't remember at all. It has been a long, long time. See, for TEF, there is no question of writing because TEF is,
Computerized.
it's a computerized exam. But for DELF, I'm so sorry. I don't remember at all whether we write with a pen or a pencil. That I don't know. Yeah, sorry. Now this is the ebook. Starting with comprehension de l'oral. Okay, it has some very, very easy questions in comparison to what you're already doing it with me. Right? So I'm going to send you the listening files, and from today onwards, I'll start giving you some of the questions from this book. Right? Do them. And the transcripts of these, you would have very, very short. Like for example, if I play one audio, I'll play one audio, you'll understand how it is. Okay. Vous écoutez la radio. Quelle heure annonce la radio? C'est deux.
Compréhension de l'oral. 1.
And yes, in DELF A1, DELF A2, and DELF B1, you get to hear each recording twice. Okay. Alors,
Compréhension de l'oral. 1. Comprendre une information chiffrée. L'heure. Activité 1, page 12.
Bonjour, il est 7h30 sur Radio France. Nous sommes ravis de vous retrouver.
allez. Il est
7h.
7h30. 7h30.
7h30.
So the first reply is the correct one.
Compréhension de l'oral. 1.
Écoutez.
Comprendre une information chiffrée. L'heure. Activité 1, page 12.
Bonjour, il est 7h30 sur Radio France.
Il est 7h30 sur Radio France. Answer is 7h30. So this simple it is. Let's do one more. This is for the time. Let's do. They have categorized it actually for the price. Let's say, okay, activité 7. Vous êtes en France dans une boulangerie et vous entendez cette conversation. L'homme doit payer combien? 8e.
Le prix. Activité 7, page 14.
Merci madame. Combien je vous dois?
Ça fera 8 € et 15 centimes, s'il vous plaît.
Je n'ai pas la monnaie. Voilà 20 €.
11,85 € qui font 20. Au revoir, monsieur.
See, they said this also, they said this also, they said this also. But how much the man has to pay?
11,
Oui.
8h15. 8h15.
8 heures.
Le prix. Activité 7, page 14.
Okay.
Merci madame.
Le prix.
Combien je vous dois?
Activité
Ça
7,
fera 8
page
€
14.
Merci madame. Combien je vous dois?
Merci, madame. Combien je vous dois? How much do I owe you?
Ça fera 8 € et 15 centimes, s'il
Ça fera
8 euros
8.
0 et
et
15
15 centimes.
vous plaît.
Je n'ai pas la monnaie.
Je
N'est pas la monnaie.
N'est pas la
have
monnaie.
to change.
Voilà 20 €.
Voilà.
20 euros.
Wow.
Doesn't have the change. He has given of
20.
20 euros.
11,85 €
11,85 €. She's returning him
The change.
the change.
qui font 20.
Qui font 20, which makes it 20. So that means the man has to pay this much. They're very short.
DELF exam is in the month of March, I think.
March. Yeah,
And we have to fail in the month of February.
that you will have
And
to
it's
check.
advanced.
See, in
Yes.
India, it happens in March, June, September, December.
Yes.
Right? Now, you will have to, that I'm talking about India. Okay. If you are living somewhere else, you will have to check with the nearest Alliance Française or the nearest place where you have DELF. Just call their front desk, just ask them, when do you have the next DELF examination and, when are your registrations opening?
Yesterday I checked on the website Allianz, and they're saying they have mentioned that we have to fail it in this month, February.
You are in Canada, no?
Yes.
Yeah, so there also I think it will happen in March only. So it's global, I think. Okay, c'est bien. So this is for compréhension orale. Next one, coming upon is compréhension. So here you have all the audio transcripts, what you heard. Bonjour, il est 7h30 sur Radio France. Nous sommes ravis de vous retrouver. Right? And at the end of the book, you'll find the correct answers. Right? Coming upon compréhension des écrits, that's also super simple. You have this length of the text. This is the length. Read them, and then there are some short questions to do. Okay? Like read this much is the length. So read them, and then there are certain set of questions. This is compréhension des écrits. Then coming upon production écrite. Now here you have writing. You have short writings, like for example, here you have two questions. In writing, you have two questions. One is filling up the form. So let's say you want to register yourself in the French library. So now fill up the form. So here you should absolutely know the rules behind it. Like for example, when I write Suchita Gupta, Gupta is my nom. Suchita is my prénom. So no, you always write in the caps. How do you write the date? How do you write the passport number? How do you write nationality? All these things. So you should know the rules behind writing the date, nationality, everything. So the first question is super simple. You just need to fill the form. And here you have various, and you have the sample answers at the back of the book. Right? Now the second one would be a short write-up. Short write-up means 50 to 60 words maximum. Okay. What you have been submitting me are really the lengthy ones. So if you compare it with this is super simple, right? So let's say maybe they'll give you a small invitation to write, invite your friend for your birthday party. Okay, let's look at this. Sur le site copaindavant.com, vous retrouvez un ami d'enfance 20 ans après. So you on this site you have found your childhood friend 20 years after. So you need to propose your friend for dining in a restaurant of your city. So you need to écrivez un courrier où vous précisez. Of course, you'll precise the place, the day, the time of your meeting. And since you're meeting him after 20 years, you'll do a small little physical description of yours and the clothes that you're going to wear. We have done how to do the physical description. You already know the vocabulary related to clothes, what you're going to wear. So let's say if I want to say, I am going to wear a black t-shirt, which tense it is?
Future portion.
Roche. So you need to write just 40 to 50 words, right? And the format is already given to you. This is how you do it. Sample answers are given at the back of the book. Now coming upon, so there are two questions. One is filling up the form, another is a short write-up. The next one coming is production orale, which is the speaking test. Now speaking test, it has 3 parts, right? So for the first 2 parts, you don't get any preparation time. For the third part, you get the preparation time, right? So how does it happen? The first part is l'entretien dirigé. And yes, I took a webinar for everything about Delph A1. I'll send you that webinar as well on the Telegram channel. Give me one second. Okay, yeah. So first is entretien dirigé. Here, what is it? It's super simple. The examiner will say you present yourself. Présentez-vous, right? So in this case, what do students do? They write a short paragraph, they learn it, and then they speak it in front of the examiner. I mean, beforehand they write it like, bonjour madame, je m'appelle Suchita, je suis indienne, j'ai 33 ans, j'habite à Delhi, je suis professeur de la langue française, je suis célibataire et j'ai étudié le français pendant 10 ans. I've studied French for, so a short write-up, a short description about yourself, right? This is one way when the examiner says, present yourself. Another is the examiner might not ask you a simple question, present yourself. Rather, the examiner would simply ask you certain questions about you. Like, for example, vous vous appelez comment? I'll say, je m'appelle Suchita. Et quelle est votre profession, Suchita? Je suis professeur de la langue française, madame. Et vous êtes mariée? Non, madame, je ne suis pas mariée, je suis célibataire. Vous avez des frères et des sœurs? Oui, madame, j'ai un frère et une sœur. Et ils ont quel âge? Mon frère, il a 27 ans et ma sœur, elle a 35 ans. Et parlez-moi de votre appartement. Alors, madame, je n'habite pas dans un appartement, je habite dans une grande maison. Il y a 3 étages dans ma maison et moi, j'habite au 2e étage. Et sur chaque étage, il y a 3 chambres, whatever. This is my way of explaining. So did you understand? The examiner will ask you certain, there are 2 ways. One is présentez-vous, another is the examiner might ask you certain questions about yourself. For this, you do not get any preparation time. Is it clear?
Oui, madame.
The second one, for this also you don't get any preparation time. There is a sheet of paper. On that sheet, there are certain words written. Some 12, 13, 15 words written. The examiner is going to point out at any word and you need to form questions out of it. Interrogation, which we did today. Now that question can be closed-ended question, open-ended question. You can make it by the first way, second way, third way, fourth way, whatever. It's not like they're asking you to make any fancy question. It can be any simple question. Let's say I pointed out on music. Make any question out of music. Vous écoutez de la musique? Closed-ended question. I can say écoutez-vous de la musique? This is by the third way. Animaux. Vous, vous avez des animaux de compagnie? Do you have the pet animals? So that word should come and you need to form question out of it. Examiner is not going to respond to those questions, but examiner sees that do you know how to form the questions? Clear till here? Coming upon partie 3, which is dialogue simulé. Now here what happens is, so basically how does speaking test happen? You actually, I'm talking about Alliance Française de Delhi because I have appeared for the DELF examination in Alliance Française de Delhi. I think worldwide it is the same. So first you go to the library because each Alliance Française has its library. So you go to the library, there are various people to assist you. There will be a box in front of you. You have to pick out 2 chits from that. On those 2 chits, there are 2 situations written for the part 3. Okay, part 3. 2 situations written and it's a dialogue. So basically, let's say the situations are super simple. Let's say vous êtes à Bordeaux et vous faites quelques courses sur le marché. So you are in Bordeaux. Bordeaux is a city in France, and you're doing some grocery purchasing. You have to inform yourself. You have to ask about the price. You need to precise the quantity that you wish, and then you need to pay. Right? There would be 2 different situations. You need to choose one on whatever situation you want to perform the dialogue, and then whatever you don't want, return it back. Okay, then they're going to give you a rough sheet of paper, pen, pencil, whatever, and then they'll give you 10 to 15 minutes. You sit there, you jot down the ideas. Okay, whatever you want to say, because of course, here in the class, in my class, you have a pre-prepared dialogue, right? But there you can control your dialogues, but you cannot control examiner's dialogues. So you can just jot down the ideas in those 10 to 15 minutes. After that, a room is allotted to you. Okay, you can take your sheet of paper with you. You go to the room, whatever room is allotted to you. There are 2 examiners sitting. In DELF, there are 2 examiners who take your speaking test. In TEF, there is only one, right? So TEF is very, very similar to IELTS. Like in IELTS, your speaking test is recorded. In TEF also it is recorded. In DELF, it's not recorded. Okay. Right. So with one examiner, you are going to have the conversation. The other examiner is silent. They're just pointing out your mistakes and just giving you the marks. Right. So a room is allotted to you. Now, when you go to the room, of course, you greet the examiner and all. Then first you will have first part. Then you will have the second part. And then when the chance comes for the third, they'll ask you that which subject have you chosen? Then you say that I've chosen this subject, and then you have the conversation with the examiner. And when you have the conversation, you can keep that rough sheet of paper in front of you. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Will be evaluated on basis of grammar and
Everything. Grammar, pronunciation, conjugations of the verbs, fluency. But since it is A1, they ignore a lot of things also.
okay.
Yeah. They must have given here also on what basis do they evaluate. Somewhere. You'll have to search. Some suggestions they have given. Read them. These are the things that the examiner looks. Are you able to respond to the simple questions? This Read this grid. How many levels are in TEF? Overall in French there are 6 levels. It's not about TEF or DELF. There are 6 levels: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Okay. Anything else? I'll stop the recording.
Recording stopped.
Like we have DELF A1, we have DELF A2, we have DELF B1, we have DELF B2, we have DALF C1, we have DALF C2. But there is nothing called TEF A1 or TEF A2 because TEF is one single examination for all the 6 levels. Dhruv, you unmute yourself. I'm not able to understand what you're saying. Like IELTS. TEF is just like IELTS. In English also. In IELTS, you cannot say IELTS A1 or IELTS A2. As per the how many correct questions do you attempt, they give you your level. Right? Yeah, but it's not necessary that you appear for all the levels. Like I have appeared for DELF A1. Post that because when I appeared for DELF A1 in 2010, I think, 15 years back. 2010, I appeared for DELF A1. I did not even know that there are books for DELF examinations. I just filled the exam and I remember that I got late for my speaking test because I didn't know that speaking test happens. We have to reach at 9, all this. 10 o'clock, it just came into my mind that, uh, we have to reach. I reached at 11 in Allianz. So I requested them to take my exam. So I just appeared for A1. Post that I got to know that, okay, this is the pattern of the exam. Then I did not appear for my A2, DELF A2. Then I gave my B1. So that depends. It's not like that you have to appear for A1 only, then only you can appear for A2. You can appear for any examination. You can directly appear for DELF C2 also. No, I didn't get you. In TEF? No, no. Mhm. You can appear for any level directly. You can appear for any level directly. You can directly appear for DELF B2 also. Nothing like that. You have to appear for A1, A2, B1, then only you can appear for B2. So, oh yes, in results, this I forgot to tell you. I'll send you the webinar. In that, I've answered all the questions. So basically, all these 4 listening, speaking, reading, and writing, all these 4 tests are for 25 marks each. I'll send you this book. This book has all the information. 25, 25, 25, 25. I would have shown you my. Hold on, I'll show you my. I actually search it, but still I'll show you what is it. Yes. I'll show you for A1 only. Yeah. This is how you receive your attestation. So this is for DELF A1. And now, you see, compréhension écrite, production écrite, compréhension orale, production orale. Are you able to see it? Not sure.
Yes.
Each épreuve is
We.
for, each épreuve is for, if you see, 25 marks each, right? Now the passing marks in total, if you see, total is out of 100. The passing marks is 50. If you get 50, I'm not sure on 50 do they pass you or on 51 do they pass you. Okay, so let's take 51. On 51 they pass you, but each module, in each module also, you should have a minimum of 4 marks, I think 4 or 9, that I'm not really sure. But it's not like, okay, so let's say if my total is 55, but in one épreuve I have 3 marks. So that means you're considered as fail. Total, it should be above 50. And in each one that you'll have to check whether it is 4 or whether it is 9 out of, or 5, 4, 5, 9. These figures are coming into my mind. Right? So for each one, DELF A1 also, A2 also. For each one, it is the same thing. Same attestation. This is for DELF B1. So this is how 25 marks each and then out of 100. Voila, that's how it happens. Now, if any other questions? Any other questions? Benefits of taking and clearing TEF or DELF. Okay. TEF, you already know what are the benefits of taking TEF. What are the benefits of taking TEF?
It's
Points
6
in your
hours.
express entry. Right? Benefits of taking DELF. Like when I gave my DELF, it was mainly for teaching purpose because I wanted to go in the teaching field. But there are so many other benefits, working as an interpreter, translator, guide. TEF, I did not give for Canadian immigration. I gave TEF because I wanted to teach for TEF. That's why I gave TEF. That's the difference. And that's the benefit. No, DELF is not considered for a Canadian immigration. Only TEF is considered. TEF or TCF. I have not given TCF, so I don't teach for TCF. I've given only TEF, so I teach only TEF. DELF, I'm just asking you to give so that, but both of them, TEF has the validity for 2 years, just like the IELTS. But DELF is like, its validity never expires. Okay. What else? Yeah, but for your express entry, you'll have to give TEF. It's not DELF. DELF, I'm just asking you to give so that before you appear for TEF, you at least have some confidence of appearing for a French exam. After March, which month? June. March, June, September, December. Anything else?
So if I want to appear directly for for instance, A2, do I have to give another test to prove that, I'm at A2 level, or directly they'll allow?
No, no, no. They never ask you at what level you are. You just go. They are just concerned about the payment. You fill the form, you pay them, that's fine. They will never ask you that you are at what level.
Okay.
That you have to see by solving the books. How would you get to know that you are at what level? Solve the books. You'll get to know.
So it's not like
First,
that slots are available online and we can book there like IELTS.
you
Uh,
can.
okay.
You can.
Okay. No,
Like
you were saying that okay, you have to call to the earliest response that
see, that depends because I have appeared for all these examinations long back, 15 years back. That time they were not really so much active on all these things, on websites and all. So I am
yeah.
really now also if I want to give TEF or anything, even if the information is mentioned on the website, I prefer calling them
Okay.
to have more clarity.
Okay. Dakumana.
Uh, that's about it. What else? Yeah, so first you solve your DELF A1 book, réussir le DELF A1. When you're done with your réussir le DELF A1, you feel that, oh, it's super simple. Then I'll send you the réussir le DELF A2. You start solving that. If you feel that, yes, I'm ready for giving my A2 exam, you can directly appear for A2. You can also give two exams side by side. DELF exam always starts on a Monday. So DELF A1 happens on Monday. DELF A2 happens on Tuesday. B1 happens on Wednesday. B2 happens on Thursday, like that, over a week. So you can also appear for two exams side by side. Like today I appeared for DELF A1, tomorrow I'll appear for DELF A2. That also can be done. But don't appear for a higher level examination just because you don't want to, you want to directly clear that. If you are not able to clear that, what will happen is you will feel demotivated, right? With me, what happened was I did not know what is DELF all about. Like I am telling you what is DELF all about. I did not know how does it happen. So I just gave it. DELF A1. Post that I got to know, then I did not give my A2, then I gave my B1. Okay. So I don't recommend I don't recommend you skipping A1. Rest is your choice. See, everybody has different perspective of seeing things. If you want to appear for your A2 directly, you can. But for that, solve the books first. See what is your level. Identify what is your level. And that you will be able to identify only by solving the questions. Je vais partager le livre après le cours.
Ma'am,
Yes.
for like while we are doing in class A1, in one page we do almost like 6 to 8 questions, and we hear the recordings like sometimes twice or thrice for doing questions. Like first we do 2 questions, and we heard the audio. Again, we played the audio twice sometimes for another 4 questions. Are we going to hear like audio like this or just once or twice?
Here you don't have multiple questions. You just have, for each audio, you have only one question. There with one audio, you have multiple questions. 6 questions, 7 questions. Here
Yeah.
with one audio, you just have one question. Another question, another audio. Another question, another audio.
Okay.
Like
Like as in our book we do.
you don't have the same pattern in DELF. Pattern is different.
Okay.
Here you will first read the question. You will have time to read the question, After that, they'll play the first time audio. Then they'll give you some time, 15, 20 seconds to do the question. Then they'll play the audio again the second time. Then they'll give you again 15 to 20 seconds to do the same question.
Okay.
Anybody else? Ok, allez, au revoir, ciao et à la semaine prochaine.